Hello, Internet and YouTube and all the ships at sea. This is James McLean coming to you from Los Angeles, California with another game dev tutorial for Family Game Nights Forever. We are making Tic Tac Toe. This is the 12th installment in the series, and a lot has transpired since my last installment. My game board is looking a lot better if you've been following along, although not many people have. I used to have these pieces in the wrong space. They used to be on top of the game board and on the bottom of the game board, and they didn't used to be in one long line like this, which is how I want them. They used to be in 2 rows of 3 columns each. And I've also added at the top these info areas. One's going to be player 1. It's going to have the player's name, maybe their game record, maybe even a player icon for them. And same over here for player 2. And in the center we'll have the server connection, so they'll know that if there's a problem, it may not be that the other player is just like snubbing them or leaving the game. It may be a problem with the server. So we're going to be maybe monitoring the server connection. I don't know if I'll have a message there all the time, but if there is something that goes wrong, then this will pop up and say, "Whoa, you're offline, dude." Okay. Now, the piping is coming together very nicely. By piping, I mean I need to separate certain parts of the program from certain other parts of the program, and I need to have some sort of way for them to communicate with each other. Let's get Visual Studio Code started here and bring up my Tic Tac Toe. So I have scripts on the client side and I have scripts that are going to be on the server side, and I'm trying to separate them into script score and win. This will be the server side one, and just script1.js is going to be the client side one. Consult other videos if you not real familiar with that terminology. I'll briefly say that the client side is basically what's on your computer, and the server side is basically what's on the central internet computer, and each player has their own client side. You can see, right? If I'm in Los Angeles and you're in New York, then you have your client side in New York, and I have my client side in Los Angeles. So on each of our client side, we're going to have this web page, and each of our web pages is going to be responsible for doing things like drawing this and drawing this. And when the game is over with, they'll draw a line through the 3 that won, or they'll just say cat's game if nobody won, which is unfortunately one of the most common outcomes. But I got the piping working to the point where I got information flowing from here through my script 1 all the way to my scoring and determining a win code, and then coming back to me and saying who won and where they won. And I haven't yet connected it to the piece move, but that's going to be simple enough to do. This is something I've talked about before called sandboxing, where you try to do one piece of the game at a time, as simple as you can make it. So rather than directly and right away connecting this information passing to the dropping of a piece, which is how it's going to eventually work, I've got interim controls down here where I just type in a value and I send it with the move button instead of sending it with a piece drop. Okay, so here's what I mean by that. Right now this is how a game is going to start, and this would be a pristine new game with just 1 through 9 in the game slots up on the server. But now I come in and I say I want to move an O, for example, and I want to move it to slot number 2, but the array on the server is 0 indexed, meaning the first slot is slot 0, The second slot is slot 1, and that's just the way you have to understand it, things in computers sometimes. So I have to subtract 1 from the slot that I want to move to. For example, if I want to move here, the first slot, I have to use the number 0. If I want to move here, the second slot, I have to use the number 1, 2 for here, 3 for here, 4 for here, 5 for here, 6 for here. You get the idea. All right, so I'm going to put an O in slot 2. And now this, as I said, is not at all connected to the game board at all yet. So you're not going to see like pieces appear up here at all. I'll show you what you will see. You will see this. This is what the game string now looks like in that bit of JavaScript code called winning and scoring, or scoring and winning. You can see that the O for slot 2 is actually in the proper slot, though I number them 1 through 9. So that would have been a move to put an O right there. Now I can put it in an X, and I can put it into slot 4, type of move, and you see that magically, or almost magically, the X appeared in a slot that I want. Now continue on and see if I can manage to get a winner. If I'm going to make a winner out of O, let's go with slot 6, which is slot 5. Boom. And now this came in because I'm starting to actually check whether or not there was a winner. Good information for me here. It says no win. That's NW. That's where the position of the win will come in. And the N and the false is for there's not a winner yet. All right. Let's put an X into number 7, which is number 6. Boom. And now let's put an O into number 9, which is number 8, which should actually register a win for me. I hope. It did not yet. So a problem I got to work out. At that point, because I have an O, then an O, and an O, I should have had 3 O's down here, and it should have registered a win and told me that it's in the right column. It did not do that. So there's a problem I got to work out. What we call a bug. I'll leave it there for now, and I'll let you know how I fix the bug in future videos. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.